Revit Phasing Tutorial. Full workflow with example file. Hello, welcome to our new video. Today we will talk about phasing in Revit and show you how to properly display existing conditions, demolition, and new construction. Phasing in Revit gives us the ability to apply the fourth dimension to our projects, time. In other words, it allows us to show different time phases of a project in the same model. Many projects, such as renovations and adaptations, proceed through multiple phases, where each phase represents a specific time period in the project's life cycle. To open phasing, go to Manage, then under Phasing, click on Phases. A window opens where we can see three tabs: Project Phases, Phase Filters, and Graphic Overrides. In the Project Phases tab, the first thing we need to do is set the phases we need. In most Revit templates, the basic phases are existing and new, which is sufficient for most projects. A common mistake is to create a separate demolition phase. This is not necessary. In Revit, elements are not demolished in a separate demolition phase. Demolition always happens in the new phase by setting the element to Phase Demolished, New Construction. If we have a large project with multiple construction phases, we can add as many phases as needed. We see that the top says Past and the bottom Future, meaning the older phases are at the top and newer phases are at the bottom. To add a new phase, first select a phase, then click Insert and add a new phase before or after the selected one. In this example, we have existing. We will add one phase before and one after, and then add another phase after the new construction phase. Each phase can be named as desired and given a description. We can also merge phases. Select the phase you want to merge with another. It is important to note that the phase being merged will disappear, and only the phase it is merged into will remain. This is used when phases are no longer needed. In this example, Phase 1 will be merged with the next phase, existing, Phase 2 with the previous phase, also existing, and Phase 3 with the previous phase, new construction. Now we only keep existing and new construction. Moving to phase filters. A phase filter is a set of rules applied to a view to control the display of elements based on their phase status: new, existing, demolished, or temporary. We can see the default phase filters that Revit provides. The three most commonly used and important filters are Show Complete, Show Previous plus Demo, and Show Previous plus New. These filters are used in almost all projects in practice. All other settings we will leave as they are, but in Show Previous plus New, we will set new elements to Overridden because we want them displayed as we intend, not just by category. Next is Graphic Overrides. Here we define how each phase is displayed graphically. We adjust Projection/Surface, Plan and View Display, and Cut, Section Display. First, Existing. Projection Surface. Change line color to a slightly darker tone. Set pattern to solid. You can choose another pattern if desired. We select solid for clarity in reading the drawing. Choose a light beige color. For cut, enable visible pattern, choose solid and the same beige color. Also adjust the line color. Next is demolished. Keep line type, but change color to red. Pattern is again solid. And color is dark red. Repeat the same for cut. Keep line type, but change color to red. Enable visible pattern and choose the same dark red color. Next, New. Line color can stay as is. Pattern is again solid. Set pattern color to green. Repeat the same for cut. Finally, temporary. Choose orange. Repeat the same for cut. We forgot to change the pattern to solid, which we will now do, because it is important for clear visibility in the drawing. Once we have set the colors as desired, click OK and proceed to draw. First, rename this floor plan to Floor Plan Existing. In Properties, scroll down to the Phasing section. We see that currently Phase filter is Show All, and Phase is New Construction. Since we want to show the existing state, we change Phase to Existing. This is our first project phase. We will draw walls using basic wall. Units are centimeters. We are drawing arbitrarily because currently we don't have a project or sketch to follow. In a real project, of course, we would draw according to the existing survey or project documentation. Draw walls approximately. Add one wall here. Another wall here. Another wall here. Another wall here. Add one more wall here. Extend this wall further. Add doors. Add windows. Now we will create the floor plan, Demo. We will duplicate the existing plan and rename it. Set Phase to New Construction and choose that Phase filter is Show Previous plus Demo. Next, we will mark the elements to be demolished. In this case, these 3 walls along with the associated doors and windows. For the demolition process, we could use the hammer tool, but we prefer to do it in Properties. In Phasing, we see that Phase created is existing and Phase demolished is set to none, which means the element is not demolished and remains. Since we want to demolish it, we set Phase demolished to New Construction. We can now see that the demolished portion is displayed correctly. Next, we want to demolish part of this wall. Since it is a single wall, we first need to split it. Go to Modify, Split, select the split portion and set Phase demolished to New Construction. Repeat the same for this wall and door. Here we also have a portion of the wall that needs demolition. Again, split it and set Phase demolished to New Construction. Once we have finished marking all elements to be demolished, we create a new plan. Duplicate Floor Plan Demo and rename it Floor Plan New. The phase remains the same, new construction, and we change the phase filter to show previous plus new. We can see that the demolished parts have disappeared from the view. Now we will add new walls, representing the extensions. First, we will add wall 400 centimeters here. Then wall 200 centimeters here. Next, we will adjust the walls. Pull this wall slightly. And do the same on the other side. Pull the wall a little further, then use join to merge walls where necessary. Make further adjustments here as well. Now we add more walls. Here. And here. And here. Add another wall over here, avoiding the window, so it aligns properly. Finally, we will add doors and windows. We will go back to the existing plan and start tagging the rooms. We have 8 rooms in total. Now, switch to the new plan. If we want to tag the rooms here, we will notice that we cannot because the tags do not exist. Room tags from the existing plan are not transferred to the new phase, so we need to create new tags. This is normal Revit behavior, not a mistake. Of course, we can adjust them so that the room numbers match the ones in the existing plan. Now we will add what we have created to a sheet. First, add the existing plan, then the demo plan, and finally the new plan. We can adjust the scale. Let's set it to 1:75. Now we will slightly spread and move the plans to arrange them neatly on the sheet. You are probably wondering why the walls in the existing plan are not beige as we set them. We can see that the phase filter here is set to show all. If we go to Phasing, Phase Filter, we see that by category is selected and cannot be changed. It is locked. However, we can adjust Show Complete. We will set Overridden in Existing and New. Then click OK. We change the phase filter to Show Complete. But the walls appear green. What is happening? This happens because the walls in the existing phase are actually new elements relative to the active phase of the view. If we select Phase to New Construction and Phase Filter to show Previous Phase, the walls appear beige, but the demolished parts are missing. So this is also not a complete solution. We will do it this way. First, in Phasing, we will set Phase Filter Show Complete for both new and existing back to by category. We will assign the wall material. We will create a new material. Choose a beige color. And also set the pattern. Now the colors match exactly as we selected them and as we will display them in the legend. We can also check in 3D view to see how it looks. This is with the Show All filter. Next, we will change it to Show Complete. Then Show Previous plus Demo. And finally, Show Previous plus New. Next, we need to show when something is temporary. This occurs when an element is created and demolished within the same phase. Here is an example of how it looks. In order to see a temporary element, we need to enable the phase filter in which it is visible. Everything we have set up so far regarding project phases is also visible in sections, ensuring that phases are displayed correctly in section views. Of course, now that we have set everything up, we can also create a view templates. A few additional adjustments can be made, and you can create a view templates for everything you need. You can see how this is done in one of our previous videos. The link will be in the description. If you want the Revit file used in this video, Revit 2024, write phasing file in the comments, leave your email address, and we will send you the file so you can try all the steps yourself. This example shows that phases in Revit are not just a visual filter, but a tool that allows us to use one model throughout the entire lifecycle of a project, from existing conditions, through demolition, to new construction. We hope this tutorial helps you improve your Revit workflow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials.